I told him.
And Paul both said during the meeting.
Yeah, I mean, I told him, I said, go back.
Now the loading lanes, like you said, I think that's right.
They are longer. They are longer. I think traffic's moving through faster. I still like to restrict those movements.
Put some bollards on it.
Those are proven not to work. I mean, we tried that. I think you just got to be so far off travel lane, 24 inches off travel lane. That's a big deal. It's like a curve.
I saw somebody today up in a legal driving back pissed off.
Call the meeting to order. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day and the city in which we live. Guide us this evening to make our decisions. In Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
This is the regular meeting of the Newnan City Council, January the 24th, 2023. You have the minutes of the special call meeting of January the 9th, 2023 before you. I'll entertain a motion we adopt those minutes.
So moved.
Second. Motion second, we adopt the minutes as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carried. You also have the minutes of the regular meeting of January the 10th before you. Entertain a motion, we adopt those minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second, we adopt the minutes as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carried. I'm going to call on Ms. Jenkins at this time to introduce the members of the Newnan Youth Council who are with us this evening.
We have with us 3 students from the Newnan Youth Council. When I call your name, please stand. Isabella Scarano, sophomore at Newnan High. Annabeth Shelnut, sophomore at East Coweta High. And Sam Knight, junior at Heritage School. Thank you for joining us.
Glad you're here. Glad you're part of the Newnan Youth Council. Thank you very much. We also have a Boy Scout with us here this evening, Will Barnett. If you'll stand, I'll introduce you. Will is with Troop 57 out of Hillwood Baptist Church, and here satisfying one of the requirements for a communication badge. So, Will, congratulations, and good luck on your road to Eagle.
Thank you.
The next item on the agenda this evening, appointments to boards and commissions. We've got several here. The first one is an appointment to Cultural Arts Commission. If we can put that on our next agenda, would be fine. And then the next is Keep Newnan Beautiful. If we'll do that on our next agenda, that's Mr. Shell. Mr. Critco, Parks Commission, also on our next agenda. Parks Commission, my appointment, also on the next agenda. Ms. Jenkins will break the trend here.
I'd like to reappoint Alton West to the Planning Commission.
Second. Motion second, we'll reappoint Mr. West to the Planning Commission. Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carried. And then Mr. Shell.
Yes, I'd like to reappoint Mr. Fred Hamlin for the Planning Commission.
Second.
Motion is second, we reappoint Mr. Hamlin to the Planning Commission. Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carried. Thank you. The next 3, Mr. Critco, Mr. Alexander, and Mr. Giome, all placed on the next agenda, if you don't mind. Mr. Phillips? Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Phillips, do you have anything this evening?
Real quick, Mr. Mayor. Have been notified by our development team at 57 East that they're nearing completion with their due diligence, market analysis, plan proposals, and they've requested consideration of a special call meeting before this body on February the 22nd. That's a Wednesday at 5:30. So maybe something you want to take into consideration to special call meeting if it be up to the council.
Okay. Council, I think we've announced that date and time, and if everybody's agreeable with that, I'll go ahead and call that meeting for February the 22nd, 5:30. That is a work session style meeting. It's not a public hearing or, comment from the public. They've been through that process getting to this point. So without objection, I will call that meeting for February 22nd at 5:30, and I'm hereby notifying the press at this time. Thank you. The next item on the agenda, I don't have anything this evening. The next item is new business, and I am going to recuse myself from this item and ask Mayor Pro Tem Critco to handle this item for us because I have a business relationship with the seller.
And I'm also recusing myself because I'm on the board of Heat London.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
This is a public hearing for the rezoning request RZ 2022, TAC 13, 34.497 acres located at 60 Hospital Road, portion of tax parcel number N41A, TAC 001, and tax parcel N41A, TAC 002, from OI1 to PDR. The applicant's request to continue the public hearing to the March 28, 2023 City Council meeting. But we have received a letter requesting the item be withdrawn, as well as also requesting a waiver of the 12-month resubmittal at the council's pleasure. So, any discussion, Ms. Griffiths is here to discuss the letter as needed, if anybody has any questions. Okay. And without any further discussion then, do I hear a motion?
I have one question.
Okay, yes, Mr. Alexander.
And it might be Ms. Griffiths, if you can, when do they think they'll come back with this?
I'm not sure. We had originally needed a continuance until March to work on editing plans and working on a landscape plan as well. Unfortunately, with Christmas and New Year's and MLK, the engineers and architects, it's taken a little longer than anticipated to get all of those plans. So I would hope, within the next 30 to 60 days is what they're hoping, but I'm not really sure. It's dependent on other people's, calendars.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So I guess you asked for a motion then?
Yes, sir.
So the motion would be to accept the withdrawal and to give them the 12-month limitation.
Correct. Can we do that in one motion, or is that two motions?
You can do it in one motion.
Okay.
I'm sorry, that would be the waiver of the 12-month.
Waiver, yes, thank you. Forgot that little word, waiver, yes.
Second?
And a second. All right. Any further discussion? All right, excellent. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And all those opposed, same sign. All right, that passes 5-0. And that's it. Mr. Mayor, back to you.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Corrico. The next item on the agenda is item J, a presentation of the interim report from the Farmer Street Cemetery Commission.
Yeah, Mayor Brady, members of the council, I'm going to ask the chairperson, the acting chairperson, Jocelyn Palmer, to kind of and read, maybe give you a little bit more detail and answer any questions you may have as related to the report included in your packet. I do.
Look at the bike, there it is. Can you see it?
Mr. Mayor, we just wanted to update the City Council as to the progress that the Farmer Street Cemetery Commission has been making.
Appreciate you doing that and appreciate you being here to do that.
Sure.
Thank you.
Letter pretty well updates. The purpose of the letter was to show you things that we had pending and were in holding status, and also a few things that we thought that could be accomplished while we are doing some other things. The three basic items that would require action by city staff or the city council to protect, preserve, and promote the Farmer Street Cemetery, and in fact all of our cemeteries. So having said that, our current status is that we have an RFP out. We've extended it, it should close February 7th, I believe Pasco said. It is a very small job. It's to find a programming person who can assist us in our final phase, which will be a recommendation of the various improvements and preservation efforts for the actual site itself. We had to extend it. We've got, I think, 2 people. Have you got anybody else? No? Okay, so we've only had 2 submissions. Because it's such a small job and people are so busy, we're trying to find someone. And really, the entire purpose of the exercise is to save the city and all the citizens some money by not making mistakes. So we want some expert advice on that, and staff has agreed that that's actually a pretty good thing for us to be doing. Once we have that on board, we will proceed to the final concept and presentation to you for your final disposition as to exactly what y'all want to do with this. But as you can see, we do have a couple of ideas along the way. We need the city attorney to do a little of his magic for us, a few items. We also have some activities that are occurring in the site itself that are less than wholesome. and we'd like to see the city have an ability to deal with those items. So these are all part and parcel of protecting the site itself. We're very excited to have discovered that there is a Black Cemetery Network organization out of Clearwater, Florida, with the University of South Florida, and we are looking, Pasco is making contact with them to join this group, and they have a fabulous website if y'all would like to go and look at it. We have 4 sites in Georgia that are Black cemeteries that are already listed on it, but it shows what a uniquely impressive and important site that we have inside of this city. This is really unique, and it's very exciting to me, and I know that y'all are committed to dealing with this in the most respectful and proper manner available. So we're very excited. We're starting to make some real progress here.
We are committed to that, and we appreciate your hard work, and that is exciting news. Thank you very much. We appreciate that.
And Mayor Brady, and members of the council, very specifically what the commission is looking for is guidance from you guys, if you will, kind of instruction to staff and the city attorney to, frankly, we have some folks who, residents along Washington Street who we believe have erected either fences or other structures on what we believe are cemetery properties, to try and clearly delineate that and move towards a place that, to Jocelyn's point, protects the cemetery. The second, other more specifically, is to try and establish not only for Farmer Street, but our cemeteries kind of visiting hours, if you will, to allow folks to, of course, visit the cemetery, not only this cemetery, but the other cemeteries that the city of Newnan maintains, to allow for us to, and our friends in law enforcement to respectfully manage people who may or may not be in there at times they don't need to be in there, potentially doing things they don't need to be doing, as a first early step. So those are kind of the specific recommendations that the commission would like to come from this body, or have this body consider today.
Okay. And do you have a recommendation on those items, the fencing?
It's really a charge to staff and our city attorney to perform those activities.
Okay, just in a general way, you don't need
Yes, sir.
specifics.
Correct, and then we can come back with a recommendation for what appropriate cemetery hours may be.
Right.
Whether or not that's in an ordinance form or what, we have yet to.
Okay, so you're looking for a motion from staff
To direct staff,
direct staff
along
to,
those recommendations.
to
from
follow the
commission.
recommendations
Yes.
of the Farmer Street Cemetery Commission to come up with something that you can then present to us.
Is there-
And
That's my motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Okay. Any discussions? Everybody know what the motion we're doing here? Got it?
I think you got it.
I do have a question, though. I guess is the boundaries and the fences, are they actually encroaching on the city property?
we believe so. Well, we can't say definitively today, that's why
So they have to
that's why
find-
we want direction from this body to effectively spend public tax dollars to find the answer to that question.
We
Okay.
have had a recent survey of the property done, and it appears that there is some encroachment by fencing, but we need the city attorney to do his magic and make
Sure.
sure that this is the situation, and if so, take action.
And I'm glad we're following up on this. This is something that citizens have said for a while this has been happening. And so it's good to find out definitively if it is actually happening.
And then second question on the second point about the visiting hours. I guess I'm just totally unaware of what's going on in the cemeteries, but I'm just trying to get a feel for it. I know this is just a motion to kind of direct staff. From the commission, though, are y'all looking for daylight hours or?
I'm a supporter of civil sunrise to civil sunset on the theory that really nobody has any business after dark
Right.
in any of our cemeteries. If you wish to perform religious services, typically you'll do them when the sun's up. I don't see any good reasons why somebody is over there, and really typically it would just be mischief making on somebody's part. And I think given all of our cemeteries, not just Farmer Street, that we need to give our law enforcement the tools necessary to be able to respectfully deal with a situation that might occur.
Thank you, Ms. Palmer.
Okay. Any other questions? I do have a motion and a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carried. Thank you so much. We appreciate all your hard work and the members of the commission. Okay, next item on the agenda, request for streets and sidewalk closures for Main Street events 2023. Ms. Branch is with us this evening for any questions we have, but otherwise, if there's a motion or has to.
I think there's some interesting, I don't know if Jesse, if you want to join me up here, there's a couple tweaks to it, right? I mean, everyone enjoys our downtown, and Jesse and the folks she works with downtown do a great job through the Downtown Development Authority, but I don't know if you want to talk to the, a couple additions you've added this year?
Sure, yeah, so we've added an additional market day date starting in March. I know everybody loves the market days. We actually did a survey of our vendors, and they were really excited to come back a month early, and I know the residents of Newnan would love to see it come back a month early, so we've added an additional market day in March. And we're also this year starting a new event called the Downtown Newnan Restaurant Week. We're still ironing out the kinks for that, so we're hoping it'll reflect a similar restaurant week to other cities across the nation.
Thank you, Ms. Branch. Any questions? All right, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second, we approve as presented the request for streets and sidewalk closures for Main Street events in 2023. Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those like sign, motion carried. The next item is a consideration of to exercise open container amendment, Chapter 3, alcohol beverages during Main Street Noonan Night Concert Series in 2023. Is there a motion here?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second that we approve the request regarding item L on the agenda. Any discussion?
I had one quick question.
Yes, sir.
Question. I looked at the map, and it looks like it's almost strictly just the Greenville Street Park. Otherwise, it
correct.
looked like the downtown, the
That's
central
correct.
business.
Yeah.
Specifically, what area is this?
It's just for Greenville Street Park. The event takes place in Greenville Street Park, and exercising this section of the ordinance allows for what is commonly referred to as brown bagging. So people can bring a bottle of wine to their jazz band that's playing or something like that.
Okay.
Just like we do for Jazz in the Park.
It's very similar. Yeah, Jazz in the Park will probably come to this body to do the same thing in the future once they iron out their schedule. They don't have it quite yet, but yeah, that's what that's for. It's just for the park.
Okay. Thank you for that clarification.
Thank you, Ms. Branch. I have a motion second. Any other questions, discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carried. Thank you. Under unfinished business, this is also a continuance of a public hearing, RZ 2022-12, on 3.3 acres located on 420 Jefferson Street, tax parcel N57D096 from RS15 Suburban Residential Single Family Dwelling District Medium Density to CGN Commercial District. You also have a letter. This is much like the previous item on Mill Creek on Hospital Road. You have a letter before you asking for this item to be withdrawn and also invoking the 12-month rule, the waiver of the 12-month rule. Is there a motion on the issue?
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. Motion is second. We accept the letter as presented. Any discussion or questions regarding? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those like sign. Carried. Thank you. The next item under visitors is a request from the Housing Authority of Newnan to continue to store trailers at 10 Jordan Street. I think Ms. Drozer's here this evening. If there are any questions, if not, if there's a motion to approve their request.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second to approve the request as presented. Any discussion?
Well, I have a question,
Yes.
is that forever or a certain amount of time or what?
Was there a date? Ms. Drozier, might you answer that question? If you'll state your name for the record, even though I've already called you Ms. Drozier.
My name
10
is
times.
Sandra Strozier. I'm the president and CEO of the Housing Authority of Newnan. These trailers were donated to the Housing Authority, and we're making them available to the public, not so much public, but for the use like in case of fires. So we're keeping them, but they are available, but no one is being housed now. So like if someone, the Red Cross needs them or, there's a need, they're available for that.
Okay.
At no charge.
Well, the question was, are they forever or for a certain amount of time or what?
I guess as long as we own the property, yes. And it is on the housing authority property.
Okay. All right, that's good. So I do have a motion and a second to approve the request. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. The next is a request from Brent Walker and Move Real Estate Group regarding properties on Ray Street. This letter is in your agenda, and it is a request from them to actually have the city sell those properties.
Mayor Brady, if
Mr.
I may
Craven?
introduce two items, just statements of fact, and then turn it over to Mr. Walker to speak to these. So the subject property that's actually being considered during my conversations is 25 Ray Street. The city of Newnan does not own or have an interest in 23 or 26 Ray. It's 25 Ray Street. And then the second is during the 2019 council retreat, you may recall we talked about quote-unquote city-owned lots. 25 Ray Street was considered at that time, and by this group was put into the Urban Redevelopment Agency shall deal with this property column. So of course, take action as you see. But I just wanted to introduce those two pieces of information for you. So 25 Ray Street, and in 2019, you considered it to be dealt with by the Urban Redevelopment Agency. So,
Okay, all right, thank you.
yes, sir.
Mr. Walker?
Thanks for having us. We were interested in buying, as Hospital said, 25 Ray Street. Actually, this came about because we were interested in a property that we were trying to buy next door to it, but it's only enough to park one car. And the owner was not aware of how much land it actually was, and then I started digging and looking at the maps and trying to find out who owns what. So we were requesting the city, if we want to sell that lot, because we want to build a single family home. And we just started our business, just a little bit, let you know who we are. I was born in Cayuga County, and I was one of this hospital that's up for rezoning and whatnot. So that was good information. I was in here because I was born at the hospital. But we were trying to find out, were you interested in selling that lot so we can start our business? Like, we're a new business, we just started, and it's no better place than, you go off and come back home to start a business. So that's why we're here.
Okay, well, as Mr. Craver said, in 2019, we went through the process of identifying all the lots that the city owned, and we put some of them in a surplus where we tried to sell them, and then others we thought were appropriate for our Newnan urban redevelopment to do what you're doing, what you're saying to do, is be able to go in and selectively build houses on these lots. So we have dedicated that particular lot, 25, to them to do that. So unless the council's pleasure is that we change our mind, the answer is.
I'm not inclined.
The answer is no. Is anyone inclined?
No.
Okay. So, is there a motion then to bring closure to this agenda item that we confirm our commitment to not sell that particular lot?
Do you need a motion to deny the request? Is that what you're asking for?
Yeah.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion second to deny the request to sell 25 Ray Street. Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. Thank you for your commitment to build houses in Newnan. We're just not at the point where we want to sell that particular lot.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you being here this evening. And I think that brings us to the end of our regular agenda. We don't have any reason to go into executive session. I do have someone who has signed the sign-in sheet, Marcus Rosser, that says speak after the meeting, so must have Mr. Rosser, someone here representing. Hi. How are you? If you'll state your name for the record, please.
Right here, man, just come to the microphone.
Who you say?
For you.
Marcus Rosser.
Okay, I'm Glenda, but he on the phone, I gotta go see what he's talking about, because I don't really know.
Well, we're not going to hold up the meeting for him being on the phone. If he's not in here right at the time to speak, then
Okay.
he can come back. I tell you what, the best thing to do is to call the city manager's office and put the item on the agenda for next time, and then we'll consider it at the next meeting, if we'll do that.
Yes, he'll be the one. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Anyone else have an off-agenda item? Okay, any in council have anything?
No, sir.
Okay,
Well, just, I'd like to congratulate Mr. Guillaume on his wedding anniversary of how many years? So,
19
congratulations.
years, folks, hey.
congratulations, you need to get home.
I do. She kicked me out, so, yeah.
Yeah, well,
It's all good.
I understand that situation. Just out there.
I want to, Mr. Phillips, I want to thank you and Mr. Haskell, all the things that y'all have coordinated, and would you please also pass to our fire department, our police department, and all the staff that we have. I mean, y'all are doing a great job. There's a lot of things going on, and I just appreciate, I know the council appreciates what all of y'all do. You're doing a great job.
Thank you for the recognition there. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Just a little follow-on, thanks for the staff, all the tornadoes we've had
I know.
in the other neighboring cities, and just
Yeah.
the support that we give to them, because they've helped us, and we're able to return that, so
absolutely.
thank you.
Grange, we're particularly thankful. We appreciate that. We've got a debt we can never repay. So, no agenda, no executive session for that. I'll entertain a motion, we
So
adjourn.
moved.
Second.
Motion is second, we adjourn. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign, we're adjourned. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.